As you talk sports, today we're talking boxing, and today we've got a different style of video, one that I used to do a lot more in the past. We've got a little breakdown and a preview, and the fight we're going to be breaking down is the anticipated return of one of boxing's superstars, arguably boxing's pound for pound #1. Terence Crawford is going to be returning to the ring in LA against Israil Madrimov, and I'm going to be explaining why this fight is not going to go the way people think. Everybody thinks Terence Crawford is going to walk through Madrimov as his homecoming. No. Israil Madrimov is a serious competitor and could very well be the first person to put an end to Terence Crawford's unbeaten record. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, Terence Crawford. I don't need to explain too much about him. Everybody knows. On the day of recording is the 29th of July, exactly 1 year on from when he dismantled Errol Spence Jr., who, if you watch the channel for a while, you know is one of my favourite, if not my favourite fighters. Yeah, what a performance. Even as a Spence fan, I'd be stupid to admit that wasn't arguably, just a punch perfect performance, dismantling another pound for pound top 10 fighter in Spence, with relative ease. It looked like, obviously we all know Spence and Crawford, they're two of the very best, but the way that Crawford boxed that night, it made it seem like Crawford was just levels above, and arguably he could be levels above. That really established him as arguably pound for pound #1, if not definitely pound for pound top 5, and yeah. He's really a jack of all trades. He's got the power. However many he's got. I don't know the exact number. He's got over 10 stoppages in a row. His record just speaks for itself. But stylistically, he can adapt. He can be a free, aggressive fighter. He can box on the back foot. He's really, as I mentioned, he's just a jack of all trades, to be honest. But yeah, now on to Israil Madrimov. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, say, I've watched every single one of Israil Madrimov's fights. No. I've seen a couple of his fights, and I've researched him for this video. And let me tell you right now, Israil Madrimov is a very good fighter. I know a lot of you may not have seen much of him, but I'm here to tell you, he's a very, very credible fighter, and he's one that can cause Terence Crawford problems, aside from the reasons I'm going to explain in the future, just from his own skills. He's going to be the bigger man. He's taller than Crawford. His footwork, chef's kiss, absolutely amazing. Arguably his footwork could be better than Crawford, which is, I know, arguably crazy, because Crawford, well, you can't really say Crawford's footwork is one of his best attributes, because what is a master's best attributes? But yeah, Israil Madrimov, a very good fighter. Only 10 victories, obviously 11 fights altogether, but I don't think that's really something to take too much of, because the skill level's there. He's not inexperienced, I think. I think he's a very good fighter, and I think his skill level is there to hang with Crawford. Obviously, I don't think anybody's arguing that Terence Crawford is a lot more skilled, or the Terence Crawford that we've seen is a lot more skilled than Israil Madrimov. But he's definitely not a bum. He's no slouch around here. But yeah, these are the reasons I'm going to explain why I think Israil Madrimov can cause Terence Crawford problems, and they're mainly not to do with Madrimov. They're mainly to do with T-Bud Crawford. So, I think a lot of you may have seen T-Bud Crawford had a little bit of an interaction with Eddie Hearn. It's been doing the rounds on TikTok and Twitter, and we're going to go into that a little bit later, but that's going to be one of the main reasons that I think shows that Terence Crawford arguably is not in the correct headspace for this fight. And I mean, I know it's crazy to say that someone who's such a professional like Crawford may not be in the right headspace, but when I say not in the right headspace, I'm not talking about Rang or see it like mental. I think from things that I've seen personally, Terence Crawford is maybe not taking this fight as seriously as he should be. He's underestimating Israil Madrimov, and as I've explained a couple minutes ago, Israil Madrimov is a very good fighter, and he shouldn't be underestimating him. But yeah, we're going to take a look now at this Eddie Hearn clip, and I'm going to explain my thought process and why I think Crawford is showing signs that he's not necessarily focused on the things that he should be. So without further ado, let's get straight into the clip.
I don't think you can hoop. Huh? I definitely can't.
I got T-Bud talking to Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith there.
I'm definitely.
You ain't better than me in nothing.
Darts.
And talking, that's it.
Talking.
You talk a good game. You ain't better than me in nothing.
Darts.
Nothing.
Darts.
Nothing.
Yeah, so just to get going with, why is Crawford talking about darts for a start? Terence Crawford, let me say, Terence Crawford's never picked up a dart in his life. He would be horror at darts. Even I would beat him with darts. But yeah, I feel like, why you're not Eddie Hearn? Okay, he's a big figure. He loves to eat little yap, doesn't Eddie Hearn? But why are you engaging with this? You've got a fight, you've got a massive fight, and you're sat here trying to one up Eddie Hearn, say you're not better than me, this and that. Eddie Hearn doesn't need to be better than you. Eddie Hearn's not stepping in the ring with you. Eddie Hearn's not a boxer. So I don't really understand why Terence Crawford is yapping away to Eddie Hearn. It doesn't really matter. Like, you're talking about darts. Why are you trying to get a little ego boost over him? Like, when in the bigger picture, does it really matter? No. Does Terence Crawford versus Eddie Hearn in a darts match have anything to do with Terence Crawford versus Israil Madrimov? No.
Darts.
Today.
You're very nervous today. I don't know
For
what's wrong
what?
with you.
I've been here.
Your energy's all off.
I've been here.
I'm worried about you on Saturday.
Last
Seriously.
time I
I don't
recall-
think you're taking this fight right.
I'm 3-0 against you, sir.
That doesn't matter.
3-0.
One was against Ricky Burns. You were 135 pounds. Who was the
That's
other
your
one?
best champion?
Dongo.
Eddie thinking
That's your
Crawford's
best champion.
nervous.
That was your
Not sure about
hardest fight.
That's your
nerves.
best
That was your
champion.
hardest fight.
Why
Guess
would
what?
you disrespect
This is
your
gonna
best
be,
champion?
This is going to be your hardest fight, Saturday.
That's your best champion.
Yeah,
Why would
115,
you disrespect
113.
Exactly. That's another thing. Terence Crawford stating that he's 3-0 against Eddie Hearn. Obviously against matchroom fighters he's talking about. And Eddie Hearn making a good point. That doesn't matter. What does Terence Crawford beating Ricky Burns and two other of Eddie Hearn's fighters have to do with Terence Crawford fighting another one of his fighters? It's not like Israil Madrimov's got nothing to do with those three fighters. Those three fighters are completely different people. It's going to have no impetus, no effect at all on the fight. But again, Terence Crawford, like, you mentioned irrelevant things, and I feel like it's just not what you need to be doing. When you're fighting, you need to be locked in. You know, Madrimov just looking in the background, as you can see him, he's not really taking too much notice because he's locked into the task he has at hand. And as I mentioned, Eddie Hearn said it, even himself said it doesn't matter. And I think he even made the point, you're not taking this fight right. And I think arguably he may be thinking this similar thing to me. Crawford, is he distracted? You know, everybody's made a big fuss about Canelo versus Crawford, the fight that everybody wants, you know. Is Crawford thinking ahead of Madrimov? Because that's something that you don't want to be doing. Let me tell you, no matter how good you are, that can come back and bite you in the back. Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou. Ngannou never had a boxing match in his life. Comes in because Tyson Fury wasn't concentrating, wasn't in the right headspace. And what does he do? Puts Fury on his bum and arguably beat him. A lot of people think that Tyson Fury beat him. That's not the point. But yeah, we see it happen time and time again. When a fighter's not focused, when a fighter's looking ahead to bigger fights, super fights, that's when things go wrong. Just right when you're there. Crawford, if he gets through this, he's probably gonna have the super fight that everybody wants with Canelo. You know, Turki Al-Sheikh has already voiced his own opinions. He wants that fight to happen. It's Crawford. And I know it sounds crazy because Terence Crawford, he's an old dog in this game. You know, he's had a lot of fights, he's experienced, and you think he'd be experienced enough not to be looking ahead. But from these signs here, just yapping away to Eddie Hearn, you know, talking on Twitter about the Canelo fight, it's not what you really want.
I see no blood going down my jaw. And I got your money in my pocket.
Exactly.
Take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You said I owe you, take it.
Exactly, bitch.
Yeah, and guess what?
He's going to take
Again.
it. He's going to take
They
it.
ain't even gonna help
He's going to take it.
They ain't even gonna help you.
He'll take it.
Even Eddie Hearn looking a little bit confused there. Crawford saying, I've got your money, come and take it. Why is Crawford trying to one-up Eddie Hearn, like trying to scare him? Eddie Hearn's not in the ring with you. So why are you trying to scare him? Again, not focus on the task at hand. Obviously, Madrimov's having a little smile there, but Crawford laughing away, just jovial. It's not really what you think you should be doing. I saw a little text from Madrimov's trainer, Diaz, and he's saying, Israil Madrimov, he's locked in. This is 100%. This is the best he's ever seen him train, the most focus he's ever seen. And you can't blame him. If Israil Madrimov wins this fight, he's a pound-for-pound star. It's similar to Bivol. Obviously, Bivol is an amazing fighter, but when he beat Canelo, that put his PR, boom. Now everyone look at Bivol. Everyone says Bivol's one of the best fighters in the world. Got a massive fight coming in October against Beterbiev. So a victory against Terence Crawford literally changes this man's life. So there's no wonder that he's locked in. He's not going to be taking it. This could be his one chance. This is the biggest moment of his life, and he is going to be locked in. So Terence Crawford, not 100%. It's not good. But now into the official prediction, and as I mentioned throughout this video, Crawford arguably isn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's so confident that he doesn't need to be too focused. But I think what's going to happen in this fight is Israil Madrimov is going to cause issues early on for Crawford. I think Israil Madrimov will dominate the earlier rounds, and I think it'll get to the stage round 5 or round 6 where Crawford is significantly behind on the cards, 3 or 4 rounds maybe, and then Crawford, that will be his crossroads. Does he lock in or does he let the fight get away from him? And now I think Crawford will just about get it done. I think it'll be a tight decision. a very tight decision, because I think, as I mentioned, you could, with Fury, you can be not focused. It can be a close fight, but you can still get the victory. And I think Terence Crawford is just someone who is so good that not being focused, the inactivity for a year when Madrimov fought in 2024, all those things, they may not matter because just how much of a legend Terence Crawford is. But yeah, that is my bold prediction. The fact that it will be a close fight. The scorecards will be close. Crawford will probably win by 1 or 2 rounds. Yeah, and I think Madrimov will be dominating by the halfway point. Yeah, Madrimov will be up by the 6th round, but Crawford will end up winning. That's what I think. That's my bold prediction. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I taking a little bit too much from these little clips and Twitter and all that? Or do I have a point? Could Crawford lose? Could Crawford, come a bit unstuck? Or do you think Crawford is just that guy who'll walk over Madrimov like everyone seems to be saying? But yeah, let me know in the comments. I've been Talk Sports. Thanks for watching.